Is Andrew Mountbatten Windsor's arrest the biggest constitutional crisis in British history? The last time a member of the royal family was taken into custody is thought to be almost 400 years ago in 1647, when King Charles I was imprisoned by Oliver Cromwell. Cromwell was an MP and a military commander in the bloody civil war between Parliament and the King. Charles I was brought to trial 2 years later, charged with tyranny and treason, and later sentenced to death. But the Republic didn't last long in Britain. The monarchy was restored 11 years after that. A more recent and less brutal crisis came during World War I. The royal families of Europe were deeply intertwined, and some of Britain's minor royals found themselves on the opposing side. The King, George V, brought in an act that allowed a committee to identify enemies of Britain and strip them of their titles. 4 people had their peerages and titles removed as a result. The anti-German sentiment was so high during the war that George V even changed the British royal family's name to Saxe-Coburg-Gotha to Windsor. Then, almost 20 years later, George's son, Edward VIII, brought another crisis for the British monarchy. He became the king when his father died, but was determined to marry an American woman who had been divorced twice before. The British government opposed the marriage, so Edward decided to give up the throne. After being held and questioned for 11 hours, the former prince, Andrew, has now been released under investigation for misconduct in public office, a crime that carries a maximum sentence of life in prison. He has not been charged with anything and has always denied any wrongdoing.